Nation on the Underground continues, and we're going to continue with the thrash metal vein. We're going to go with something a little bit more traditional, something a little bit more European traditional in the stylings of thrash, a little bit more of the death thrash sound. We're going to go with Dissolution with their album Plague of Violence. Now this is a band that's out of New Zealand, and they are able to really rise up and channel all of the inner rage, all of the intensity, the power, the passion that bleeds forth from bands such as Exodus, that bleeds forth from bands such as Kreator. As I said, it's kind of sticking along the Exodus here in the States and the Kreators from across the pond. Plague of Violence is an album that's all about the raw sound. It's all about the very live, kind of dusty sound to it, where it almost feels as though this is something that's being recorded in a studio, but it's almost like the studio is in the middle of a live venue. And it's kind of cool whenever you listen to this 9-track affair, because it just has such a dirty sound to it that it recollects you. You were very... It's almost like you hop into a thrash time machine and you're going back to the 1980s. And you feel it. You feel it too. There's a real intensity with these guys, and that's something that I really enjoy. And the intensity is something that is not just patterned to the New Zealand area. These guys have been recognized. These guys have been able to tour alongside Exodus, one of their heroes, one of their basic influences. And that is something that's really great for these guys. I really think that these guys have the power to go far. This is an album that was recorded and released in 2010. These guys have been a band since 2006, and they're currently working on their second record. However, Plague of Violence is a very good first step for these guys. Even though there are some moments on this album where it's going to seem as though they're still kind of getting their feet wet, there's a very, very serious quote that I want to have right here that I may make famous. I don't know. In order to make history, you first have to begin history. And their history has begun on a very powerful and a very, very, very thrashy first note with Plague of Violence. I really enjoyed this album. I want to thank the guys who submitted this to me, and I also want to thank them for being so kind and to understanding that it's taken me a little bit while to get here. But this has been a wait that has been very well worth it for me. This is a great album. This is something where there's a Bandcamp page that's available for these guys that I'm going to leave in the comments. So you guys here in the Cover Killer Nation can check out Dissolution as well. Check out Plague of Violence. And definitely, this is one of those bands that you want to stick around and kind of, keep an eye on. Because whenever their second album drops, I know that I will be reviewing this album because I love this first release. I think that they have a lot of potential. I think that New Zealand has a very powerful thrash representation in this band. And I think that it's something that needs a little bit more acclaim. So hey, Cover Killer Nation, let's give this band that acclaim. Let's give them that support. Go and check out Plague of Violence right now by Dissolution. Download it, love it, do whatever you need to do. Check them out.